figure out how to record epic sounding choirs using your own voice, but then turning it into an entire different sound using AI synthesis. Well, now we can do that with Ace Studio. It's fast, it's easy. You don't have to set up a whole microphone and get all your vocal chain mixing and all that stuff in. You can do this easily. I'll show you how to do it. Let's get right into it. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna record my scratch vocal. Let's go ahead and come up with some idea. So I recorded this straight into my laptop microphone. So I'm not even using a microphone right now, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna double click on this. We're gonna hit vocal to MIDI. And in this case, I didn't say any words, right? So we don't need to select any languages here. So I just have MIDI only. However, if you sang lyrics, right? If you sang them in English, you would choose English. If you did Spanish, etc. So this supports all the different languages, and then you can choose the AI voices, and those AI voices can basically be applied in all these different languages that you see here: English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Chinese, etc. So we're gonna do MIDI only because we didn't say any words. We just hummed. We're gonna convert it. So we're just gonna double click here, shift the notes a bit. So the editing tool is very similar to Ableton, so I already like that. It's kind of familiar for me to use, even though it's, you know, my first time using this thing. And I can even change the performance after the fact. So even if I got all my singing wrong, I can now change it, right? I can alter it however I want. You know what's even cooler? We can even change the words. We can actually turn this into lyrics. Check this out. I can select all these notes and just write like a whole phrase and it can say it. Like, let's say like beneath the ground. Yo, that's actually crazy. Okay, let's bring this up a couple octaves so it actually sounds like a female voice now. If we go here, we can click the mixer view to open this up so we can solo things, right? We can click on these triangles if we want to mute certain stuff. We can use our volume here. Over here is the panning, right? Just like in Ableton, if you double click, it just goes back to default, so that's nice. So there's a lot of crossovers here if you're an Ableton user. When you click here, you can choose the voice. You go up here, and there's a whole library of voices, right? So this one is Clara Dark. As you can see, they got tons of other voices here. They're all supported in multiple different languages, as you saw. What I want to do now is I want to start layering this and actually building a choir. So I can simply just click on the track, hold Option, drag down. It's going to create a copy, right? I'm going to click into here, and I can select all these notes. I'll bring this down an octave. Let's hear how that sounds. So we're gonna solo this one and hear how Clara sounds in a lower octave. Awesome. Let's hear it with the high vocal as well. That's pretty cool. So let's say we want to add more reverb. We can click on the effects over here and we can change our reverb. We can increase wetness. As you can see, we have compression as well, EQs, all that stuff. So, you know, we got some basic mixing flexibility here. Now I'll drag this down again. I'm going to change the notes up so we can get some harmonies here. But as you can see, you can change the lyrics. You can basically sing your ideas, turn it into MIDI, and choose any number of voices that you want. Let's hear our harmony. Yeah, that's insane. Oh my God. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate this again. And we're just going to take that harmony and we're just going to put it up an octave. So now we have 2 high voices and 2 low voices, okay? Let's say I want to add some vibrato. You can even do those things, okay? We'll go here. Let's say on ground. Maybe I want to add more vibrato, right? Let's say we're going to click here. We can choose where do we want that vibrato. We can have a little bit or we can have it all the way here. So we can click up here if we want to make our vibrato more extreme. So we click up here and drag. Or if we want to make it subtle, we can just bring it down. Let's hear the extreme version. Nice. And then we can extend it out if we wanted to do the whole thing. And Maybe we can even fade it in to make it gradual. So this way you can create realistic vocal phrasing and dynamics. Yeah, that's awesome. We can do the same thing for the other vocals as well. So I want to do that again, right? So one more time. Let's say we're gonna, this whole thing we want to vibrato it, drag up to get the full range, and we'll fade it in, right? So it starts small and gets crazy, right? So it's gonna be like this. So you can literally create the vocals exactly how you want them. You want to have an epic lady singing on your tracks? Now you got it, right? So anyhow, let's go ahead and add even more harmonies. Oh, by the way, if you want to rename your stuff, you can go up here. Just right click the track, rename it. All right, so now we basically have 6 vocals, 3 different harmonies. Let's hear it all together. I will go ahead and we can perhaps pan some things a little bit. Let's say I want to add an instrument layer to this without having to look around for the right loop or samples and spend hours of my time, right? Instead, I can literally think about it, describe it, and bring it here. So I can select the section, click on add a layer. We can add a single sample or stem. We're going to choose just drums. Hard hitting trap beat with 808. Simple hi-hats that are muffled. So you can be hyper specific. Let's try that. Let's just see what happens. All right, let's see what we got. All right, that's pretty insane. Wow. Let's get some 808s in here while we're at it. I'm gonna select, I'm gonna add a layer. Let's call it bass. Deep, distorted, sub-bass, trap style, filthy, and hit hard. Guys, and the best part about this is when you're done, let's say you wanna export all the stems individually, you can do that. You can export individual tracks and put them back into your DAW if you wanna mix and have more control, or if you wanna say just create a few layers or stems and bring them back to your session and just mix them in, right? So this way, you don't have to fully rely on one platform or the other. You can combine them. And to make things even better, they actually have a plugin. It's called Ace Bridge. When you click on that, you can basically install it so that it shows up in your DAW, whether it's Logic, Ableton, etc. Now let's hear the 808. So guys, I'm only really scratching the surface here. There's a lot more you can do, but we're not going to cover it all in one super long video. I just want to show you one more thing. Now we're going to take our voice, convert it to MIDI, and actually start using instruments, AI-powered instruments. All right, we're going to get some string pulses. So now I'm going to double click on this. We're going to convert the vocal to MIDI, MIDI only, convert. I want to use an AI instrument instead. We can just drag and drop it over, and it's gonna make a new track. We can just pull our MIDI down here. So I can select all these notes and I can actually choose a style. So maybe I want them all like short and staccato. We can choose pizzicato here. We can also click here and again go to the library, and we have all these different AI instruments. Wide variety of strings. We have ensembles, cellos, we have a little bit of brass, we got one trumpet, we got some woodwinds here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when they add synthesizers in here, drums, 808s. Like, I want to see a lot more stuff in this section. But as of now, you know, for orchestral things, adding that flair, this is cool. Let's try a vintage violin. That sounds nice. And I will turn on ensemble mode because I'm curious what that does. Okay, so it's like the voices where you can basically, you can stack layers. So let's say I'm going to add a second one. Now I can choose different violin sounds. I can kind of piece them together, get different tones, and I can even like spread them out. Let's do that as well. I'm pretty happy with that. And we can also, right, we can copy that over and we can layer it, but now we can change it. Say I want to get a cello. Maybe we can turn on the ensemble as well. We'll add, you know, if we want to layer some different cello tones, bring them together. Guys, just like that, you saw It all started from the shitty vocal that you heard here, which then became this massive choir layer. We were able to add our own vibrato to it. We were able to change the voice, layer it up, stack it up. We basically described some drums. It put it right there for us. We then put our voice into strings. We converted and we were able to stack the strings. We were able to pick different AI instruments to layer them up. This is just the beginning. I mean, I literally just started using this thing today. So I'm still getting used to it myself. Look, nothing is perfect, but damn, does this speed up things. Damn, does it give you a lot more flexibility. Hopefully these guys are going to add more AI instruments. In terms of choir, in terms of vocals, in terms of creating stacks, changing lyrics, doing whatever you want vocal-wise, this is definitely some next level stuff. So if you're interested in trying this, you can click the link in the description and have fun with it. Thanks for watching.